RavenClaw is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
Alright, here we are for real now. Welcome to the actual stream. I don't know. No, that other thing didn't happen. This is game 3 of 4 today as we start off the RavenClaw region round of 32 right here and right now with our second straight 9v16 game between Andy and Zach. And let's just take a look at what we've seen today. I mean, Zach trying to top the performance of Leah. We just saw her advance again as the 16 seed after upsetting JT in round 1. She advances over Arya in 7th, and earlier on a crazy good series between back and forth between Caesar and Goldie in Gryffindor. Caesar came out on top on that one. We'll see if we can go 3 for 3 on Game 7s today. It's going to be Andy and Zach, and then later on tonight in prime time, 8 o'clock, Sting and Camaro, 6 vs 14 in Slytherin as we go to door to every region. We take a look at the bracket here in RavenClaw, and we're opening up the region right here and right now, and this is an upset-filled top half. All of the higher seeds lost in the top half. The 1, the 8, the 4, and the 5 all knocked out in round 1. Zach knocked out Brad, changed his style, had an answer for every punch Brad threw, and he advanced with a second straight that night, 16-1 upset. And now he looks to try and do it again. You're coming up against Andy, who took down Ed Ziemba in 5, and what was a very dominant performance. And then, of course, you saw Jenna and Nick move on. The 13 and the 12, they will face off tomorrow night in a standalone game for the day. And winners of these will face each other in the regional semifinals. Should be exciting. Let's bring it in to the table. And for the moment, we have KT. We're going to give some opening thoughts. Appreciate him taking the time. And of course, Yoshi, appreciate him taking the time as well to commentate. Got the players in here. We will talk to them in a moment. KT, I'm going to start with you, boss. Another 9v16 game. And we saw the 16s go back-to-back winners that one night in round 1, and now they're going to play back-to-back again here on this Monday afternoon. You just saw Leah do it against Arya. What does Zach got to do to get it done over Andy? And of course, what does Andy have to do to stave off that momentum that Zach made by beating Brad in 5 last round? Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Got you. Hearing you, sir.
All right. Zach, the one thing that really impressed me looking back at the game tape, which we're supposed to do for the podcast, I would have said this on the podcast. I was really impressed with his answers. I was really impressed with his composure, right? He didn't touch, sorry for anyone out there that may not get this, but he didn't touch him, right? He didn't really touch Brad on anything other than just defense. So I'm interested to see how he plays a little bit more on that offensive end of the game. Now, for Andy, I always like to give praise both ways. I remember vividly after he lost to Ashley, and of course that was Ashley's 100th game in T5, where he thought Pac jinxed him because Pac said Andy would sweep Ashley 4-0. He probably knows what I'm talking about. I'm just ribbing at him a little bit. But one thing I was impressed in that Ed series about him, because they both won in 5, is unlike Zach, who played a little bit more of that different style, Andy was able to basically defunct the light switch, right? And he was able to shut that down, which was Ed's main course. And now that main course being a little bit different, you wonder how Andy can come into this game with a little bit more of a second helping of, okay, if Zach's going to play this defense really well, how do I counteract with the offense? It's going to be an interesting chess battle. I think that's what you won 9-16. We saw it 2 games today so far. It went 7, but the chess battle is what I'll be interested. Probably not watching the game, but listening more of an old school radio style until I get to my destination. We'll go over to Yoshi now.
Yoshi, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a matchup where both players are looking to make a run early, and some people may not have thought these would be the two to move on. So definitely Zach definitely playing spoiler, being a player where we didn't see much of him at all in the last tournament, and is able to prove himself. We'll see if he can do it again. Andy, I mean, has had some good runs, one or two good runs in the last season, but not enough to really be in contention for a Super League position at all. But enough to feel like just be like in the middle of the road player. We'll see if they can make it to a Sweet 16 early, and that would be a good statement if they can do it. This will come down to who has the better play style. It's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, real quick, sure. I want to ask both guys a question before I
Go
sign
for
off
it.
here.
Yes, sir.
I'm the master. And we'll start it off with my friend, Zach 103. Zach, we just saw Leah take that 16 house money advantage, but I know you're a big racing guy, right? You saw what happened last night. It's a game of chance. Sometimes you got to stay 2 steps ahead. How do you think you can calculate the percentage Uno that a lot of people have been talking about in the league? It's been taking the league by storm. What's your thoughts on the percentage Uno and when you play those +2s and +4s? Feel free to type that or speak. I saw you typing earlier, so I'm going to assume you're going to type. Now I'll go to Andy over here. Andy, one of the biggest things I was impressed with when your Ed win was you were able to really split the color switches, right? Cut that statistic in half and basically put Ed in a one-dimensional box. Zach has been known to play defense and play the color efficiency very well. That's how he won against Brad. How do you split the color efficiency in half today, but also play a little bit more of that good offense that can counteract the good defense on the ammo control? Go ahead and feel free to answer those 4D questions.
Love the 4D questions.
The best, man.
Yes, sir.
We'll see what they say. I can't. You're gonna have to be my eyes here.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also, repeat your question for Andy.
Okay, so one of the biggest things is I talked about what you love to cut the light switch down with good old Ed over there. You were able to play very well and cut that statistic in half. He was basically a one-dimensional player. My question to you is now, how do you try to play that with Zach? How do you do a second helping of that, but also make sure you have good offense to his defense that he's going to try to counteract? Go ahead. If you got that. I hope you did.
And Zach saying probably going to be pretty much come down to management of cards overall and find what would best fit with the deck you have.
Yeah, that's a typical Zach answer. He's a guy not going to bite off too much he can chew. And one of the things I'm going to give you guys a tip as you watch the game with Zach 103, one thing I noticed too, as I continue to do these research on these players, is Zach is a guy that's understand the art, man. He's understanding the art of craftsmanship of a deck. You see a lot in these games, the back and forth doesn't go right as I make this right-hand turn. And you look at the way you look at it too sometimes is with his craftsmanship and the way he's been able to split the ammo, it gives you a lot more cleaner looks. And I think that's the key to Zach's formula. Make the cleaner looks and continue to roll. As I stop at the stop play, let's see what Andy said.
Honestly, just going to test the waters here and see how the series progresses and try to adjust for whatever it calls for.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Adjust, adapt to the flow, and play adaptation. All right, I'll leave it to you guys game one because you got to fight to catch your stick. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, boss. Alrighty. Well, we have the match set up, and it is just about that time to get down to business. And Andy, you get first call here, being the 9 seed. What's it gonna be here for game number 1? We're gonna go with the 12-pack. Skies are rough. Get them in tension. There they are. All right. Here we go. Game number 1 is underway with the Myth Blue Skip to start us off. And off and running. And of course, it's interesting to see what we'll see from Zach against Andy here. Pulled out some crazy new strategies against Brad. Had an answer for everything, but the efficiency was much stronger. And here he goes immediately, just as I say that. Goes into the red 9. And we're jumping between the top floors over to green.
An early crossover, and you have to think about, does that say something for Andy's hand?
Could be interesting. We'll see. The trips 9 to start us off, and Zach will take the undercut and roll on the green.
One thing about Andy, I'm going to jump in real quick, is when you see that early switch, sometimes he likes to disguise the look. When he disguises the look, he could have a wrap around towards the finish. Just keep that in mind with his undercut stretch. Zach's going to be a little more efficient, as you said. We talked about Jenna with the eco mode. I think Zach's going to put some eco mode in today and play a little more stealth. I got a feeling.
He had some of that against Brad, definitely. And if what was a wild day in the league on multiple fronts. Switch over to yellow now for Andy. That is very quickly Pandora's under 2 minutes.
You never know what you'll get in this league, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt. Switch over to that Camaro, who's in the voice call as well. No.
Yo, see you at 8 o'clock, Camaro. Good to see you, man. Oh, shit, I forgot we're live.
Good to be with you.
Oh. Having good times. 2 down there to the Steven. Yellow 6.
Yeah, we've seen the pretty even game, obviously, with them just playing numbers. Interesting. What we're gonna see when they start going for rather either a draw or maybe some ammo. Think they're looking to
a shot might be close. Well, they're taking their time with it after the little bit of a light flashing start, and now Zach gonna go over switch over to red on his card, and Andy has nothing.
So let's see here. Yeah, that undercut ended up being truthful in the sense that they didn't have any yellows to play.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see how far Zach can go with this, and if he can get the number efficiency to switch out, could set him up for a potential finish. Maybe it's hard to say. If we start off with 12 cards, you're either going to get some ammo or you're not, or it could just be a match where both players are trying to play the numbers game.
And when they're playing the numbers game, one thing I've noticed with the league meta right now, when they're playing, it's 2 things. Either A, you don't have the hand, or B, it's that wraparound, end around strat, which not made famous for with the reverse skip meta. So we got to see if we got to combine this meta as this guy crosses the road. And that's really the key where you have to look at this game. You have to understand that wraparound style because both players have that in their arsenal. A lot of these moves, as the meta continues to go wild, right? People start adapting another style. We saw it with Caesar, the pump god. We saw it today. He was able to play into Goldie's strategy and was able to pump out wins in Game 7.
Zach taking a moment here to decide what he wants to do. After a break of 2 cards on the red, Andy's with no answer to it. Zach up by 3. And a big pause here. And there he goes. Oh, he's making a break +2.
Okay, so I wonder if that pause was for looking at his cards and determining what cards he needs to. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, just a double. Might have just a good old
I was
think stop.
thinking like, yeah, that's fair. I was thinking like he could be setting up the run, just trying to figure out what order the cards he should be throwing them
It
down.
could
But
be. It just might be more a multi-turn kind of thing.
You gotta understand with Zach, you probably expect an end around.
Oh,
from
here's a
Andy.
triple there from Andy into blue.
End around.
A little bit.
yeah,
And that's just isolation. Now for Zach,
Yeah.
the key for him, he probably whatever number is, he's looking for number efficiency to get back to that red. It's probably going to be the key. Or does an undercut to try to alleviate the pain right there. And his things stop. Remember, old Zach, we would never think about things stop, right?
yeah, we see the draw from Zach there. So Andy trying to take a chance, doesn't feel good with the red and look to switch to something else and finds the draw. Gonna help them here.
That's about playing the numbers game. If I had to assume, if it was Yoshi's saying, right, you play the numbers game, hope there isn't whatever cards on the table.
Zach with no answer for blue still. So Andy now with the momentum here.
7-5. Still is definitely gonna be able to catch up now.
And one thing about Andy, man, he needs to learn draw city too. And he talked about this in the off season. I was talking to him a little bit with, I think once or twice, and it's about that draw city, understanding when to be patient and be aggressive. I think that patience aggression factor will come in very shortly for him. I'll stay for this game. I just pulled up. I'll ask some good questions and then.
Well, for the moment, he's still able to play. No draw city in effect yet. There it is.
Oh,
there's the read, man. That's the read, right? You gotta know when to say the patience game. You gotta understand to play the aggression game. If you're Andy here, hey, you know what? You're in a pickle. Tie the game up. Let's see what we get in that DC and roll from there. That's what it's all about for both players. It's a chess match. Zach thinking about this one, taking his time, right? Understanding a little bit how to roll with this draw city, right? Understand the game flow, understand the pace management. Don't risk too many issues. Don't make a step out of line. Try to go for a over-adjusted switch, right? It's about controlling your toggle switches on this game, man. It's becoming more and more as we continue to develop the meta on this bot. Like a toggle switch, a light switch, on and off, want to turn it on, want to turn it off, every single aspect. Aggression, control, ammo, everything. You name it. You got to learn how to control it.
Exactly. And now Andy trying to make a break. Switching over to the yellow with the Sting 5. We'll see him at 8 o'clock.
Well, right now, that switch is going to give Zach a lot of momentum if he wants it. And it's up for him to take the run. Let's see if he takes the run here. You got to think, for him, down 2 possessions, you start to wonder, okay, you can play it 2 ways. Do you get aggressive here and try to send them back, or do you play this one a little bit more cleaner, do a test, right? You got options with 6 to 8 cards looking at the scoreboard here.
yeah, that switch is gonna give opportunity to set things up now, and we're gonna see how the hands have been built so far.
I see my brother Camaro, man, unmuted. Cam, let's go to inside the eyes of a player. When you're in this draw city and you make the break switch first, you're doing that a lot against Charles Sanford, I noticed, studying some tape back. What's the key to making the break? Do you have a certain threshold on a card number to make the break? Give us some player insight, man. Go ahead.
Well, you just really don't want to get too many cards, and you don't want him to stack as many cards as he needs to go on a run and run you out and get the win at the end. You just want to stack your cards, get good cards, and get yourself a run as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. That's what William Brock would say.
Oh, here
right?
comes Zach.
Zach with the run. Oh, big
Double
run.
reverse, looking for triple. Maybe a quad in the works here.
Double Yoshi, yeah.
Might have been trying to build up that run. He'll take the lead with card play here, and he does with the +2. Puts him up 3 cards now.
Zach using a little bit of some of that
Zach,
slot.
he is running at it. Andy sent back to 12. Zach at 4.
Zach run right now. RZR.
Oh, Zach.
Okay.
103. He keeps going. And into the wild,
that was
not a
interesting
finish.
play.
Down to Dose. And 6 freshies to Andy.
Well, now for Andy, you got all these cards, but at the same time, you got a lot of options, and you can either play aggressive or play very ticky-tacky on the colors, because that's really the key, is how you can able to switch the colors effectively could get you to win. Let's see what he does in response.
Yeah, we're gonna see. This could be a situation where you take a risk with the +6, but sometimes it doesn't give you any cards to really switch the color, and it's a gamble here. If Zach ends up giving Andy nothing here, it will end up helping him out immensely. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen here.
He's gonna
Plus
cancel
6.
that out in an instant, and he's just behind by 1.
Play some of that percentage Uno, right? Use a little bit of that +4, +2. Now we're not going to see a +2 either way in blue. Play that percentage and see what happens. Got to be careful.
Going
the
back
reverse.
to blue after Zach wilded out, so he could be iced, but he did get plenty back, so could go either way. Zach with
Back
the
to
number
green.
sufficiency into green, back again.
And Andy, unfortunately,
Oh.
gives away a card.
Yeah, that's not going to. Zach will close that off in a heartbeat. You can't make mistakes up here. We talked about this composure. Remember, Andy wasn't on the stream first game. This is his first stream game of the year. Got to learn it, right? He might get a little bit of break when I'm going to leave the VC. My clownery will be leaving pretty soon, but still, you got to be on it, right? You got to be clean with it. And Zach, he's going to accept that, right? Because the red 3's out there, so he can accept that all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he had that as well. So it works out
But
for Andy.
he does
so a little
draw,
bit of a
but
bail
right,
on the right number, but it's
okay.
a classic.
Yeah, he ran.
You know, sometimes you just put the wrong card that you don't have, so that the other player thinks you have that card and they don't want to go to that card. When in reality, you don't even have it.
Could be. We knew Cam does that a lot. We'll see that tonight at 8 o'clock. He likes to play those fake plays, but this one's true because it said red 3. You can't play it here. That one for real.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bot sometimes gives things away, but it's still interesting to keep in mind.
Now for Zach, it's about just playing some top deck, having right, or Andy, same thing. Play the top deck, having see where you go, because it's really all you can do in a draw city right now. See where you go from that. Try to build momentum. It's basically about building a run, right? Build a run, build your tower, and see where you can go there and unload it later. This goes past 5:05. I'm gonna have to jet though.
It's 5 now.
If I give you 5 more, that's it. I'm jet.
Yes, sir.
Now it's just driving KT. Yeah. Now, once in a while,
Driving
that's it.
commentary.
That's
Driving
it. Once
that
in a while.
commentary home.
We'll see. Once in a while, I'll do that. No.
Driving home that commentary. They both wink on the yellow. But
You think
is there
stop?
any
You
full
think stop?
blink? Yeah, think stop. No blink from Zach. Is there a blink from Andy on the 8?
Will you think stop at that red light? Okay.
When I'm thinking of stopping at that red light,
I think red light. You just stop, right? Yeah.
It went down a rabbit hole. Now I'm going to start thinking about the red light and the history.
Oh, Get this dude out! Oh, dude, there's a switch up.
Oh,
And he
speaking of
switches
red,
to
though. Well, because of the driving. Because of the driving.
His KT was
driving
driving. Yeah, KT was driving. It was crazy.
I can still commentate, man. Even drive any place, anytime. I'll help you out. There it is. He knows. I'm pulled over now.
When we talk about red lights, he switches to red. What is School of Reeds? 100%.
No worries, man. I got the Bluetooth. You're good. We good. I'm stopped now.
No, he's not driving anymore. He was driving when we started.
Yeah, I just feel bad. I got no help. You know, boss doing a little help for the guys. But you got Camaro, man. 55. Definitely you. He's got the experience for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to use your resources around you, man. One of the great things about commentary is use your traffic light equals pace management. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
All right, here comes Andy now. Let's see what he'll do on this this back end move. We'll go down to the reverse monkey combo from Alan to Sandman.
Oh my god.
As we like to call him, Unk Safer. Shout out Cody Smart.
Zach draws.
Unk.
Unk. Yeah, he's Unk Sanford, man.
Good old Cody Smart.
That sounds funny.
It is kind of. Anyway, you know, Zach drawing here, it gives Andy a chance to potentially, we'll see, we'll potentially get rid of that mystery. Yeah, I was about to say. Okay.
Huh? Oh yeah, the red 3.
Yeah, red 3. Haha! There it is. Should have been the first one you played.
Well, you got to remember, he doesn't want to prevent a 3 switch, so I get why he played it later. Play a little
Yeah,
I get where he's coming from. I get where he come from.
Let's see.
Top
Ooh.
deck. Well, top deck.
But actually,
Deck.
if Andy was looking to switch after that 3, that could be a good move there.
Oh, double red.
Boy, yeah.
Double.
2 of them.
Ooh. Oh, that's good.
Double trouble, man. Double trouble. Zach none.
There you go.
7's up now. There's the switch.
There we go.
There's Andy himself. New Santa hat. You know, he ain't Christmas.
Andy just feels festive all the time.
It's always Christmas somewhere, for sure.
It is always winter somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over in
No. Seasons. You're thinking of seasons. It's always winter somewhere. There's in the lane. We'll see Lane Train playing Clay in a rematch of that 4-3 back in T2.
Wow, look at this 3 efficiency.
3-ception, man. Step back
3.
3-ception.
He's got the 3.
He got it. Go, baby.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's got the 3.
He did. I remember that. Classic.
Oh my God. Screaming.
We'll see what Zach does now on the 3s here. Not the best on the 3s, but he does have a little bit more of an option with the blue. Playing a lot slower, methodical. You know, thinking his moves through. That's what it's all about for Zach. And, you know, Camaro, talk about that pace management. I know you're a quicker player. When you get a slower player, how do you adjust to it?
You kind of just look at your cards for longer. Think, what am I going to do? What is he doing? A lot of things go through your mind.
Absolutely. A lot of things went through your mind. They're just like that background.
What the?
And that's the thing.
Oh.
Oh, my.
Okay. Just wanted to.
You forgot the first part. There it is.
You good? We good? You good, big man? You good? You thinking it through?
Yeah, you just wanted to throw that out there, you know.
Marinating that steak. That's what he's doing. He's marinating that steak, just trying to get it out there. Here comes Zach now, looking for more of an efficient run here. Let's find out. Yeah, definitely a slower pace. This is what you expected. Obviously, it's a little different. I had to go back to the stream. I saw him play a little slower against Brad. Not at this slow, but
that's not how it works.
No, not this slow. Yeah, you would have had to do it before the +4, before you played the +4. So you just got to play.
For sure.
You can save it though. That's the good. You should save it. Probably for the better.
Okay, I've noticed we've seen a lot of trying to learn the power play like just the function of it, especially in D2, where like a lot of people haven't played with it before. But even up here in D1, there's sometimes like confusion on usage of power play.
Well, you got to remember these guys are in a new spot. Zach hasn't gone far in any tournaments, so this is his first chance at it, right? And that's a different thing. The question becomes here with his power play as we go into the Vapor G6 popping vials in the ice. I'm sure he's popping a vial right now of some Martinellis. But anyway, the point is, you look at this game. It becomes now a chess match, right? That power play's in the back of the Andy's mind. Okay, right. Where's the ebb and flow of this going to go for this game one? Does Zach have a run, right? And he could have had a.
Well, we're
split
gonna
run.
find out because we start off with the green reverse here.
Looks like it.
You know what? If you're Andy here, you accept it, though. You just accept it, right? It's game one. You accept that at the end.
Looks like it.
Yep. All it takes is 2 more.
And Zach just taking his time, right? Trying not to. There's this. Yep. Don't screw the wild play. And that was a long first game, so that's probably good that you guys had this stream because we'd be here all night. But I'll ask a quick question, and I'm gonna jet here. I'm gonna go to Zach. Zach, I really noticed, man. What I really like about your game style that I've noticed is you've been taking this time. Is this partially two things, right? Is it partially you just don't want to miss the command, or have you just adopted more of a slower style to cool your brain? But we always talk about performance management. Cooling your brain, not overthinking the process. There's no need to rush. Have you been able to use a little bit more of that processing? You got the game one feel. You need 21 minutes to get the win. Talk to me about how you've been able to play this slower pace, but also understand the processing aspect of playing the cards. Now, for Andy, I got to ask, you did a couple end-around plays there. You messed up on the red 3. That's fine. You had a lot of number efficient hand. Were you saving a run potentially to finish the game at 7 cards, or did you just feel like you were playing defense the whole game due to the fact that Zach had more of the upper hand on stats? We'll see what Zach says here about the processing, and then I'll jet. But right now, you got a good game here. You got 2 players that are, of course, trying to learn each other and learn this moment, right? They haven't. Zach hasn't been here a lot. He hasn't been to round 2s a lot, and he's been to a couple, right? Of course, Masquerade May was his.
Oh boy.
All right, no worries. The question is that you were playing more defensive measures this game, right? Because you felt Zach had the ammo. What was the theory behind some of the end around plays you were going for the ISO after that red 3?
No problem.
Well, that's a great. We'll go to Zach. You got my question, man? With the pace management?
Oh, there you go.
No, you know what? That's what it's all about, man. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta learn the pace management. You gotta learn the efficiency. You gotta learn when to pull the trigger and just calm down, right? And there's nothing wrong with. No worries, Sky. There's nothing wrong with understanding that, understand the efficiency. But we'll see what Andy says. I'll read his comment, and I'm gonna jet. It's all Sora and Yoshi from here.
Yeah.
Definitely felt like there's a lot more defense in this game. Like I said before, the game will adjust later on a series of progression. It's all about the progression. Guys, have a great one. Boss is checking out. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Nick Jenna. Enjoy yourself.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Jinx. So we got the thoughts. We'll see if the pace continues to dominate the discussion here. Let's look at game 2. Andy, still open board for you. How many cards? We're gonna go down 3 to 9.
See the 9 card start.
There you go. Not seeing people type. It's weird.
Okay, good.
Starting us off with Yoshi.
Yeah.
We had 2 straight action cards. We had the blue skip earlier.
All right, we'll see how. Yeah, we're gonna start off with the William Brock.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one to start. We'll see Zach.
Nice.
A little bit of a clip play. Go ahead.
I mean, we're just figuring out what yellow it is.
It's yellow. It's yellow something. Oh, it's yellow
Okay.
4A, Rogers. It's 1 plus 4. 5. Oh, math.
I see. Yeah, see. Okay, we're
Oh,
doing some addition
wow.
here. Are we looking for that yellow 9
Everybody's
now?
favorite subject, math. We go with 5, and Zach
Oh,
goes
no.
to the deck. Andy, how far can they run with it?
See, are we going to get that 9 with the 4 plus 5?
Oh, 4 plus 5 is 9, and unfortunately, we cannot do the math on the table. And we're
Okay,
going
well,
Draw
there's
City
a,
early on,
oh,
and
there it
there's
is.
the 9! He's got the 9!
Yeah, I mean, it had
Absolutely
to happen, right?
insane.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was actually kind of wild. Now, here we're going to see this early draw city here. What this really means for both players, because they might just be looking for better cards. Their starting hand might not be the greatest. Maybe they also don't want to use any wilds or action cards right now. They're content to draw early here. Zach with the yellow 6. Nothing, okay. Setting each other back for a little while.
So the wink with the 6, and still nothing.
Trying to play these yellows and wait for that switch.
They're both inclined to take their time, there's no doubt.
Let's see. We'll see if Zach can switch with this 2 or if he's going to try and draw again here. See what Andy's going to do. No, Zach's going to take the initiative and
with
play
his
his own
card
card.
again. Taking the switch with his own card for a second straight game.
Gets the red 8. Okay. All right. It's now going down to Pier for Zach as
Half
Andy
off
is
special.
also gonna
Half off
yeah,
special
okay.
again to the other Zach too.
Yeah, it seems to be a rundown of these colors. Another draw there. I mean, they don't seem they're seeming to just run down these colors and see who runs out first. Not no switches really, unless until I mean the only switch we've seen was when they were both drawing anyway. So it's an interesting situation. But Zach is gonna start going a bit more aggressive this time. Andy with the crossover.
Oh, the undercut trips 9 into blue. Andy with
Now,
the PA lead in his home game too.
yeah, the thing I understand here is
And no ammo either side. It's when they both run out. When one runs out, the other does. So it's still pretty neck and neck.
yeah, I mean, we definitely look into this and think it's definitely a matter of taking their time here, trying to save anything they may have, trying to find those colors to get those numbers out of the way so that when they get the run, there's not much the other player can do. But Zach may be thinking about switching the color again. But I feel like with blue not being played until this point, he should be content. Probably start off with the blue, but we'll see. As Zach is thinking here, maybe he has an option to switch and is just thinking about what to do.
And he's gonna stick
All right,
with it.
yeah. Starts off with that blue 7. We get to a scenario where Andy is able to potentially run this blue. Maybe also actually going to be looking for a switch, trying to making this a bit more confusing for Zach here.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
double looking for
we gotta
trips.
run to start things off, and we'll see. Is this a huge run to end it? That's what oh man, okay. I think that's what it's looking like right now.
Oh
That's
my
game.
goodness.
Okay, so actually, just a complete checkmate there. Every color was in
Ammo
Andy's
control.
arsenal. Yeah, every color was in Andy's arsenal. There's literally nothing that Zach could do. Um, Looking at this run, I mean, red was the only color that would have been tough for Andy to find a win on because of the blue skip stray from the blue skip stray. But other than that, I mean, there is really nothing that's can be said here. I mean, we can ask Zach if he had anything saved. But
Yeah.
honestly, there's too much hindsight to really
Yeah,
say that
it's really
it's
hindsight.
yeah.
Yeah, Zach. I mean, I don't know if you had much to counter that. Obviously, I don't think you may not have been expecting that to pop up that quickly. I mean, is there anything you could have done differently there? I don't think there really was, from my vantage point here. It's 1-1. And I mean, Andy, I think is that just really a case of having the right cards in the right place? I mean, you may have gained a little from that mini draw city there, but
Okay.
yeah, he had a good strat I wasn't ready for. Yeah, draws give me some of the needed ammo. Yep.
Figured,
So
right?
it
Yeah.
was just going to draw city and finding the connections you need. That's plain and simple. And
Yeah. You get that yeah, when you get an early draw city, it definitely makes things easier for you to do stuff like that. Obviously, there's going to be some games where you have to kind of play your hand even if it isn't super strong. You may have like a skip of one color, a +2 of another color, but no connections. It's still worth a try to get the win there. In the scenario that the other player is also trying to go for the win. So it's a situational thing, but for Andy, it ended up working out because definitely needed those draws.
definitely did. All right. Well, the first two games are split, and now Zach gets the arrow to him. Zach cannot pick 12. How many cards for game number 3? Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go to 11 here.
And start
And
with Rogers 4.
yeah, we see these two having their strategies working in two different games here and now. Now we're gonna figure out if adaptation comes into play at all. If we see something different, um, or if they try to kind of have a similar style and just figure things out as the game goes. But now Zach can kind of expect maybe a big run like that and could maybe switch things up this time. We'll see. But with 11 cards, there's a lot that could happen. Of course, we're going to start off clean on this yellow. And here comes Zach potentially with an early switch. No, just a double play. Okay. It is a way to get into the lead. And he's going to play another yellow 9. Trying to potentially isolate Zach and force an early draw. And there it is. So that skip. Okay, well, they're both actually going to draw. So another case here where they're both going to have to draw. And interesting how, um, we're back in a similar position, but
Ooh,
Andy
blue
is
again.
going to is going to get out of yellow a bit earlier than last time. So we'll see what that says. Try and take the lead again. Just about. That's the blue 6. Okay, possession arrow from Zach. But unfortunately, no more blues after that. So not a good color for Zach. Andy just got to run these colors down now, and depending on his hand, he may need to go into another color. And here we go. We're going into green on the wild. So we'll see if Zach is definitely going to have something cooked up here. What exactly? It's hard to say. Just a green 2. Okay, so maybe not the strongest hand at the moment. And he's just trying to put the pressure on. We'll see if Zach can maybe go for it. Maybe might be looking for a switch, or might just be trying to call the bluff that he need. Call Andy's bluff, because there's always a case. You always have a case where you can play a wild, but but if things don't work out, you may have to draw. So right now, I mean, it's looking good for Andy. Dittoing the green 4. A risky move, to be honest. But I don't. But it will if it does work. Okay, well, didn't
triple into
matter.
red.
Yeah, it didn't matter because they're gonna switch into red with the skips, putting them very close. Now Zach is gonna just play this cool with the Mac Johnson, but unfortunately, I feel like this could be game here.
Could be indeed. It is
It's
with the
game.
+4. So an
Don't-
endurance battle in game 1, and now Andy's just having the answers here in games 2 and 3. 2-1.
Yeah. After that early draw city, it looked like Plan A from Andy there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was Plan A. After those draws. I mean, again, I feel like Zach just not getting the cards. I feel like at 2, you would expect some ammo to be thrown out, but unfortunately, no. So maybe he was trying to save something, or he just had nothing.
I don't know. Zach, was it just more playing a little too conservative for what's been thrown at you, or are you just not having much of a response to muster up here? Because it's looked pretty tough for you here in these last couple. Yeah, conservative. Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
So do you feel you need to make any serious adjustments to try and combat this, or do you think you need to just keep it going? And it's definitely been a tough go for you the last couple.
Yeah. Not much to really say.
I really don't have
outside of
much to
this.
say other than I just wonder if Zach may as well change it up some. We'll see how it goes from here. All right. So with that, you still can't pick 12, and it's game number 4. How many? 10. We go down 1. Oh, they're both like in the mid range. What's that?
I'll see you guys at 5.
All right. Catch you later. Camaro and Sting playing at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Here we go.
Yeah, things are looking good for him to show up, so that's nice.
Yeah, I love that. DJ 5 to start us off. 5 o'clock. Oh my god, the parallels.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah. Just showing that DJ had a very good commentating stream earlier.
Yep. And Zero Sugar Cherry Red insert MRE promo here for Zach. Start us off.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an aggressive start, but obviously with 10 cards, it's hard to really determine what this really means. We're a starting hand. It's you could have an idea of what you want to do, but you also could have just numbers and just gotta play them. So
Indeed.
we're gonna see if Andy's gonna keep it red or find a way to switch out of this, because it would be pretty tough to do so. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it red.
And once again, the pace slowing down here. Felt a little bit quicker those last couple with the plan A, but it seems like there's a little bit more layers to this one early on.
Yeah, that's definitely. There's definitely something I'm
here's
seeing
Zak,
here.
though.
The red +2
comes out swinging there a little bit. Double play sends Andy back to 11. He's down to the EOG 7. 4-card lead.
I sense that this is where Zak is starting to adjust here. Haven't really seen him go for a +2 early in the game before. So he's definitely experimenting on this. And, it's a way to get into the lead like he was earlier with the skips and reverses. But this time he's actually going to give Andy extra cards as well. So it is a little bit different. Just, okay, and is that a while?
Playing a Facebook? FB?
Right,
Facebook? Red Sox.
Oh, no, just not even. Okay. Yeah, if you mistyped a W instead of the F, that would have been interesting. But Zak is going to switch into yellow now. Andy gonna look into this. Yeah, playing it cool, but also playing cautious. You gotta when you are not in the lead, you gotta keep on your toes and think about when a potential run could be happening. We saw in game 1 that Zak did have a run. It was only a 4-bagger, but it was still something to keep in mind. But he does find the switch out of yellow now. So Zak's trying to take control of these switches here. Is working out right now. And he's going to go aggressive here on the wild. Really trying to test out if Andy has anything here. He doesn't, as far as we can tell. 4 cards remaining. I wonder if he's right off the bat finishing the job here, or he's trying to set that up. Because I feel like a wild like that is definitely risky. But I also understand it because, yeah, I mean, just, if Andy did have a wild, you would flush that out. Okay, so Andy's going to find the switch. Now we're going to see if Zak was prepared for this now, because you either keep it blue or the switch comes, and we'll see if Zak has an answer. He actually does,
Ooh.
which is
With the
now
0 as
going to
well.
put Andy. That's going to put Andy in a sticky situation, having to figure out what to do, and just gonna have to play this cool. Does Zak have something here? He doesn't. Okay, so a stray yellow, but unfortunately not going to lead into anything. That would have been crazy. If he had only yellows left. Here comes Andy, potentially saving the ammo.
Ooh,
Oh my
my
goodness.
goodness.
The patience is going to work out. Oh yeah, okay. Wow.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
realized that I guess WB can't be space.
It
Needs the
has to
space.
be space.
Okay, that was the reason why.
Oh man. Andy up 3-1, and once again he had the answer on the ammo, and it seems very clear at this point, Yoshi, that the way Zak needs to win, he needs to find more ways to get the stalls. it seems like, and push it out to like that 20-minute length that we had in game one. Had to try something, didn't quite have the cards you wanted. Yep. And Andy, after losing in 21 minutes, has won in 5 minutes or less. In three
Yeah, it
straight.
appears the endurance battle was the best case scenario for Zach, and not even able to get a chance to do that because of Andy being able to get his plans down, even when Zach is on the aggression, where he was close to winning, but Zach finding that nine, or not Zach, Andy finding that nine is what made the difference, and there's really not much he could do about it because, I don't know, like if he maybe he had another red and was just like just tried the nine, it didn't work. I mean, that's just one of those things where there's not much you can. It's not like you could have played any better. It's just unfortunate the way it turned out.
Exactly. Yeah, Andy, I mean, you saw you go down game 1-0 in the 20 minutes, and now you've won in 3 straight under 6 minutes each time. Talk to me about how you've been combating that. Is it just a matter of having the right cards in the right place to combat that endurance battle? Because that seemed to have been Zach's strength in game one, and that's how you lost. It's very interesting. And Zach, I mean, I don't know what to say. It just seems like you haven't had much of an answer. He's had every answer for you that Andy has, so I just not sure what to ask other than what can you do? I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, trying to stop the long during games, yeah.
You get the right cards. Yeah.
And even then, the pace has been a little slower. Like, other players could make this be done in 3 minutes. That kind of game, you know?
Yeah, and he knows what Zach's win condition is. I mean, I don't think there's. I mean, he kind of already said his thoughts. He had to try something that didn't have the cards he wanted. So
let's see if what I know typically works pulls through. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got the power play. There's still a lot. There could still be a lot of games to be played, but Andy does get this call, which could be useful here. We'll see if this makes a big impact on the series.
Both power plays still in tow as well.
Yeah, I mean, Andy looking good. Okay, yeah, we're going 8 cards. Andy's looking good, but you can't say for certain that it's over, right? Because this spot, you know, it really likes to extend the series. We don't see a lot of games that go 5 or 4, right? And this is going to really come down to Andy's gameplay and making sure they don't make any mistakes. And I think that's how they're going to win this. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do anything start things off here. So Camaro is not really wanting Andy to win this one here. Okay. And we go into a draw once again. So Zach is given an opportunity.
And back and forth easy on the draws.
It falls pretty short as we go to draw city. Yeah, I mean, 8
even
cards is like
the low tier can still happen this way.
Yeah, 8 is definitely like like a kind of a mix between low or mid. Kind of like some people say it's low. I feel like some people would say it's mid, but I don't know. This is not too surprising. It's just I do wonder though if one of these players are trying to hold on maybe a yellow or two. A yellow or two. Um okay, maybe not. Okay, Andy does play the yellow 4. So we're just going to try and get away from the draw city. I mean, we know Andy said that draw city is, draw city has been working, but they don't want it to go too far to the point where the game goes long. And that's what Andy's trying to find the balance between. As for Zach, I mean, the draw city is exactly what he wants here. So we'll see what he can do off of this yellow 4. Is he going to draw again, or is he going to switch the color?
And winner gets either Jenna or Nick. They're playing standalone stream tomorrow at 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock, excuse me. That's 7 for me. Central Time superiority. And we're going to see here, Andy up 3-1. Can you make it 4-1? Here comes Zach, though, with a run. No. No.
Okay.
Zach with the reverse. See where he goes with it. Going to green.
So Zach looking to switch the color in a way of reverses. So that's gonna put him in a lead. Now, does he close this with the number, or does he go further with it? Let's see. Takes his time once again. Oh, another. Wow. Here comes a +2. And a quad to not only be down to 5, but also to give Andy 2 cards. Andy's not going to have it, though. Switching into red, which is a new color, but as we saw the aggression on that green, Andy's trying to predict that Zach has more greens to play and doesn't want to give him a chance to go there. And this is a good way to do it, because the only way you can switch into green at this point is if you have a wild or another end around. So, but Zach is actually going to be able to play on this red. So, I mean, now Andy's got to think of what to do from here. Just going to play this cool and play Zach's card. So, we're going to see how long Zach can run these reds. Maybe Andy's trying to play the patient game and wait for that draw. Yeah, he does find it on Zach's card. What a message to send there. And interesting switch to give Zach an opportunity to play again. I mean, Andy, wow, but in doing so, it exposes that Zach is on a 2-color strategy, maybe even one.
Oh my.
This is huge for Andy to get down to 10 cards with M. Now a draw once again, but Andy runs out, so Andy can only do so much with that. This is a weird game, man. I don't. It's hard to read these hands. They're definitely drawing a lot. They're definitely trying to play an interesting style to where it confuses the player of what they have. And I think it's definitely a good idea, especially if you're Zach, where you can't afford to lose another game. You got to try and play sneaky. Oh, and Zach playing Andy's card.
Ah,
Andy gonna have a blue 7
with the Lane Sanders.
We'll see if Zach draws here, or if he has the 7 switch. We're starting to see, yeah, we do see this game going a little bit longer, but I mean it's not too bad for Andy, right? Because right now Zach is weak on red and blue. I mean maybe starting to get some red cards now, but definitely gives them an opportunity to catch up. I mean they actually played 2 blues in a row, so they might have saved some blues with looking for the right moment to play them. Maybe they're going to be able to find the switch here. Never mind, they do not. Okay.
Wow.
So interesting situation there where they were saving up some blues trying to maybe bait the switch, but Zach not going to bite into it.
We're looking at an endurance game again. It seems like it. Zach trying to make it that way. It's only been 7 minutes, but that's longer than any of Andy's wins so far.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in Andy's position, you got to think about now. I mean, I'm starting to get into the endurance battle now. How do I have to figure out how to win from this, because this would be a big win to get, and I need to figure out how to win a long game, because it will not only help you in the case of your next opponent, also in the way that you can avoid your next opponent exposing a weakness that you may have, trying to get good at those long games, but it also will give you the series win, because all you need is one more. So here's the blue one. I mean, there's enough blue numbers, you would think the switch is going to come out. Weirdly enough, Andy has been able to tie with Zach in cards now with all these blues. So really, I mean, Andy could feel free to switch, but he's okay. I don't think any of them actually have any. I don't think they're gonna switch. I do feel like they just don't have the opportunity to. But yeah, this is a situation where I would think that Andy is saving something. Obviously, now is not the time to use that. Maybe, yeah, but for Andy, it's about the time and the place. Andy loves to go for runs when they see the right moment to do so. They're not gonna throw out ammo early. Most of the time, at least. If they do, it's for a very specific reason. Zach, I mean, Zach is trying to adapt to what Andy's play style here. Definitely an interest. And finally, we see the green, which is the color that I think both of these players are going to have a lot of, unless they've gotten some unfortunate draws. Andy
Undercut!
actually going to opt to switch
Surprise!
out. I mean, that's huge.
Andy,
this
thank
is where
you
we
for not
start
playing.
Yeah, true. We don't want to see that.
We don't need an AI response anyway.
I will delete it if you do it. So
No.
okay. We're good. But yeah.
Ever, yeah.
No, okay. Then I understand.
Learned your lesson.
That, like,
learned your lesson.
Yeah. You know what? While Zach is thinking about this move here, wow, these stats are actually pretty tight. I mean, the only difference is we see maybe a little bit of +4 discrepancy, but even then, it's only by 2. Like, everything else is very even.
Ooh, back
and is
in
that
red.
a rainbow?
Oh, that is.
Yeah. Wow.
Taste that rainbow.
Where is it? It's right at the bottom. Okay.
That's such a
That's
valid favorite candy. So valid.
Okay. Yeah, and
Over 10 minutes now.
You see a rainbow there. That might just be a case that the players want to get rid of the 9s. And so
Also trying to throw them into an ice move. It could be either way.
Yeah. And here we continue back to the reds, which, interestingly enough, Zach was drawing on earlier. Of course, he's going to have some now. But there's going to be a point where he draws again. And with Andy in the lead now, he's in the back foot, and he has to think about if he has any ammo. When is that going to come around? Because I don't think you can just leave this up to chance that Andy doesn't have anything here. The timing is going to matter. It's not like he has to do it now. I'm just saying he's got it's. Ooh, but we are finally going into green. I think Zach is going to be able to. Zach might be able to do something here, because green, I think, is his big color. Okay, well, just going to play it cool for now. they're both pretty even on cards relatively, and as we see Radin,
Radin.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we expect these two to run these cards down, but how far are they gonna go? And when and with the power play advantage, I mean, Zach has got to really time something here. And
Ooh.
okay, interesting switch into yellow. You do want to stop the pace of the green and try and adjust it in a way that might be able to force a draw on the opponent, you know? Sometimes finding that right switch could be the difference. And I honestly do not mind that play. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can just you can be on a color and be like, they might run out of this color. I'm gonna keep it this color, but it may also be smart to switch the color. And what a way to switch it, because ice, and that's a classic from Zach there. You know, once again, I mean, this is where the true endurance comes in. This is what Zach wants, and I think this is where he's gonna start finding his rhythm here. Yellow's 0, so we'll see. Let me see these zeros. Yeah, only 1-0 left, and with them drawing on blue a lot, you wouldn't think that this is gonna do much for Andy here. Zach actually retaking the lead as well with 7 cards. If Andy draws again, we're gonna be at 7-9. So Zach back on the front foot of this game. Now it's all about, can Zach find a way to get this win? And wow, he plays the blue 0. I mean, that's an interesting move, and we're gonna assume here that Andy might draw here. It's very possible, right? And oh no, but a
Oh,
power play. What, at 9 cards?
oh my
Blue sk-
goodness.
oh,
Oh
hey,
man, I
this
you
is what
gotta you
Andy has
gotta
been
feel
waiting
for Zach
for.
if this is a finisher, because that is tough
You know,
to lose like that. Oh God.
the endurance battle can work out for Zach if the opponent doesn't get these cards, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it draws
It's
for
over.
you. Yeah, and there's the Vapor G6. Andy in 5.
I mean, that's the one thing about it. You draw enough times, you see that Andy isn't playing a lot of ammo, you have to think about what Andy's gonna do. Unfortunately, Zach had nothing anyway, so just an unfortunate situation there.
Oh.
Wow. I mean,
God damn.
that's not how you want to end the series, but hey, I
Oh,
mean,
and Zach
Andy,
hadn't had much to say either. Even in the endurance war there,
yeah,
it was starting to get dry. I mean, he still had half the deck left, but oh wow, most of them in the back pocket too. Damn.
he was aware. Yeah, that's crazy. He was aware. So Zach was hoping to adjust with, but unfortunately the bot didn't give him a chance to, and that just sucks.
You
Um.
hate to lose out that way.
Oh. So we did have, okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously yellow plus 2 draw is a huge risk. I mean, it's whatever. I think, yeah, there's nothing I can say there. Like, nothing really connected. Even if you did the plus 2, I mean, Andy already had a huge run. Interesting how that whole game though. I didn't see. Did we see any wilds at all?
I am not
Because I don't think
in that
so.
game. I don't think so. I don't think it
Yeah,
happened in this
what an
game.
interesting game where no wilds were
There's a
played.
lot of switches, lot of number switch.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably
Big
what
numbers
rid of
battle.
the wild for sure. Not
big
even
numbers
a plus
battle
4.
and big patience. It's
yes,
what gives Andy
a
the
lot
win.
of patience needed on this one. Yeah, Wildless.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, Zach only got 1 plus 4.
He needs to borrow to Pier's generator. Anywho. Yeah. Well, I'll start with Zach as we get some summing up thoughts here. Zach obviously had a great win against Brad in round 1, and unfortunately falling in 5 to Andy today. But still a great achievement, the 16-1 upset in round 1. How do you take that and what you learned today and take it into T2 and try and make some more noise? Let me know. And Andy, for you, great on the win. Had a lot of answers there, and now you get Wildstorm was close. You get either Jenna or Nick next round. Any thoughts on either of those two opponents? And thoughts on the series overall? Let me know in that chat. As you see him there, the 9 seed, he will have home field for whoever advances. 12v13, Nick versus Jenna coming up tomorrow night. Good games, and you learned me quick. In terms of what I need to change, I just guess I need to mainly focus on my approach. Okay.
Yeah.
So, just one 16 seed will move on, but that's okay. That's one more than you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I can say here is... the only thing I could say is, like, Zach unfortunately might kind of fell into what happened last season, not getting the cards except in game 1, and really couldn't do much. Trying to find an avenue and just couldn't adapt to Andy's style. So we'll see. I mean, it's a good start for Zach considering he already has a win in one tournament. But yeah, it's going to be about bouncing back and getting another win, which then I believe would be already better than his last season. So, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Andy, once again, I think this is their second time in the Sweet 16. So, I'm curious as to how they play against Nick or Jenna, because those two players are definitely players that a lot of people say you got to watch out for them. So they're really gonna have to be on their A game to beat either of those guys. We'll see what happens. And Nick and Jenna definitely one of the more anticipated matches of this round.
Yeah. Two upset makers. So everyone, like I said, this entire top half of the RavenClaw turned up on its side its head. Not a single higher seed won. Even it's at 8-9, it's even, but it was a 4-1 win for Andy. Back-to-back 4-1 wins for him. Andy saying the series has sort of luck based for me in a way. Always having a response and getting right ammo. Game 1 was a great lesson to what I needed to do in the rest of the series. I'll be looking forward to facing Nick or Jenna. Both of them, I think, are opponents I can't overlook. It's like composure issues in the first game is something that I'll definitely need to improve in my career. That's a quote. Yeah, Zach, feel free to drop a quote as well. But we have a D2 stream to get to. Luke and James will be coming up in just a little bit, so we will transition quickly here, and then JT and I will be back with you at 8 o'clock. As you can see, the full bracket there for top half of RavenClaw. Thank you, Andy. They're already gone. Yeah, Andy moves on. 9C will host either Nick or Jenna. Home field advantage coming up in the next round. And look at the schedule. Just one more game to go in D1. We'll hand the keys over to D2 here. Coming up in about 15 to 20 minutes as Luke and James will square off. But Sting and Camaro are coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern in Slytherin, the final game of our door-to-door day here on President's Day Monday. So for all of us here at MRE UNO, congrats to Andy on the win. And Thank you to Yoshi for stepping in on commentary. Thank you to Sky for reffing and everyone else for joining us. But for all of us here, I am not short. And me and Yoshi will be back for the D2 show. And D1 will be back at 8 o'clock with me and JT. But for now, thank you for joining us and have a great rest of your day.